Okay. Welcome to What's Up Poland. Guys, I'm really sorry to say this, but one of Poland's biggest internet sensations websites is shutting down. Yep, Nasza Klasa. I don't know if you ever used it because you guys are foreigners, but it used to be a huge website. After 15 years, is finally saying goodbye. Now, I don't know if you know this, but this was kind of Poland's precursor to Facebook, kind of like a networking and an ability, gave you the ability to chat with old friends from
Oh yeah.
school and people you know. So yeah, I mean, it used to be really big in the early 2000s. It launched in 2006. If you remember back in the day
Wow.
before Facebook. Yeah, I remember those times. Yeah, and those like chat rooms and discussion groups
Isn't
were
that when
all
you
the
were
rage
born,
back
Monica?
then. No. I mean, I remember Nasza Klasa, and my mom used to like. I tried to set her up on there. I
With who?
remember like it being a thing. I mean, I didn't go to school in Poland, so it was no use to me. But I think I tried to. My mom grew up in Poland, so I tried to set her up with Nasza Klasa. Yeah, so it's finally closing down July 27th. But if you have an account on there, you can still log on and save any old photos or contacts so that you don't lose anything on there. But I guess it's similar to, I would compare it to MySpace, right? That was big
Yeah.
in other countries, MySpace and like all these early starts to networking. Now I didn't know this, but it was actually founded by some geeks, some nerds, right? At the University of Wrocław.
Ah,
So I don't think they expected it to blow up as much as it did. Yeah, I found that at its peak, it had 40 million unique users.
Not bad.
Now, yeah, exactly.
wow.
So it was huge. It
That's
was
more than
used
the
by over
population of
50.
Poland.
It was used by 50%, over 50% of Poland's internet users. So that's really a lot. And I think what's important is also it got a lot of people onto the internet because it was still like back in the early days. And so a lot of like older people from smaller towns started using it to try to reconnect with friends, and they started using the internet more and more. And nowadays everyone has a smartphone, everyone is connected, but back then, it was something new and interesting. So, but the time has come. We have to say goodbye. All things come to an end sometimes.
They
So,
do
but
indeed.
it had a good run.
It certainly did. I remember when I was really living in Poland when Nasza Klasa kind of took off, and it was incredible to see how people kind of took to it like straight away.
Yeah,
They wanted to kind of really kind of connect with their friends. I mean, Facebook wasn't popular back then at all. I think I had a Facebook account then. I can't remember. But a long time ago. But it reminds me of also like another great Polish communicator, which also died a death a few years ago, and that was Gadu Gadu. Did you
Gadu
guys ever
Gadu.
yeah,
use
the
that?
chat.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that was great. That was
I
like,
didn't have anyone to chat with, but
oh,
I
I
heard
did, but
it.
like, it was the kind of like de rigueur method of communication amongst 20
Absolutely.
somethings back then. So it was kind of really cool to use. And
Has
like
Gadu
even
Gadu died?
shops. No, I mean, I think it still might work. I'm not sure, but I know that they've kind of like, I know that it's kind of disappeared. Although you still
Yeah.
come across these old school websites with, Gadu Gadu numbers on them. I mean, like I remember still using like, ICQ, which was like a communicator, and then like,
Oh yeah.
Gado Gado was a spin-off of that kind of. But it kind of worked, and the one thing people loved about it was that you could actually send SMSs from Gado Gado. So
Guys,
Oh,
I believe Gadu Gadu is still around. There's
is it
something
still
called,
around?
yeah, it's just here on the, I
wow.
typed it in. So it doesn't have the
Maybe.
best rating of all time, but it's not bad. So there you go. There's life in the old beasts
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll see
still.
what happens with Nasza Klasa. I mean, obviously, if Mon is saying that it's shutting down,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
shutting down.
Maybe we'll see a kind of Nasza Klasa redux. you know, in years to come.
Maybe. But I just wanted to add that because of these social networks and because of like Nasza Klasa, it kind of almost eliminated the need for reunions and like, you know, class reunions, because you kind of now know everything that's happening in your old town and like everything that's everyone, you know, like, you know, everything about everybody now. You don't need that big event to see how everyone's doing. Everything's like instantaneous, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm glad you think so. That was my story. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Monica. And that wraps it up for What's Up Poland.